Hello folks, got the latest BS from the propaganda machines is that there's going to be food shortages due to global warming. Like pretty much everything's due to global warming, isn't it? It wouldn't be the elite piddling around, it wouldn't be them banksters, would it? You know, creating a shortage of money, anything like that. No, it wouldn't be them, would it? No. And well, the other day I heard of this farm what had gone into receivership, see, and during the 1930s there was lots of farmers what had, you know, they had food and they also had bank loans, didn't they? Because they're like the rest of us, you know, they have to borrow money, they might have to buy a bigger tractor, and you buy one of them big tractors and the kit to go with it, that's 100 grand. That's a lot of wedge. You know, they have to borrow. They can't. You look at the prices that they sell their produce for, and then look at what the supermarkets are charging you for it. Well, you got to sell a lot of that stuff to make 100 grand, ain't you? So, of course, if people ain't spending so much, the farmers might well have the stuff that sell, but they still got to make their payments on their loans and stuff like that, ain't they? But if we ain't got the money to go buy it, or we, you know, cutting back or whatever, then they go under, don't they? And the banksters end up with the farms, don't they? Like they did. And then you end up with the big corporations, I guess, probably owning half the farms, because who owns the corporations? I wonder where they get their money from. Anyway, so so my thought was is well, that there probably will be some food shortages, but that'll be due to some money shortages. What causes farmers not to be able to sell their crops? Because, like, for example, the companies that buy the food, if they're having problems, you know, your retailers, supposing the retailers have got a bit of problems themselves, and then of course you've got this issues with like trucking companies. They've been going under, haven't they? Because they can't afford to keep their trucks running because people ain't buying so much stuff and all that sort of stuff. Well, there's another thing. Yeah, okay, so you still got some farmers growing the food, but if the trucks ain't there to shift the food from the farms to wherever it's packaged and processed and whatever, then there's another link in the chain, isn't it? So yeah, there will be shortages, but I think if it's global warming, for global warming, read banksters. Banksters. Yeah, a bit like the old Club of Rome came up with the idea of the threat of global warming. I wonder what sort of people make up the Club of Rome. I wonder what their membership. Can anybody apply to be a member of the Club of Rome? Or do you have to be an elite bankster, or perhaps have some links to oil companies, that sort of thing? You know, elite people. That's a bit exclusive. Yeah, and in that they also came up with the idea of things like, you know, food shortages and shortages of water. Like the planet's covered in 70% of the planet's covered in water, and people say, oh, but that's salty water. Yeah, but we got the technology to desalinate, so don't buy that scam, folks. We've got technology. We had technology to move water from one part of the country to another part of the country hundreds of years ago. They's called canals. Shortage of water. I mean, crikey, if you've got unemployed people, all you've got to do is get them digging blooming great trenches, line it perhaps with a few bricks and a bit of clay, maybe, something like that. It's not exactly high-tech stuff, and you can move water around, can't you? I mean, you can do that in third world countries if you've got the people, as long as you've got a bit of wherewithal. You don't need a lot. It's not high-tech stuff, is it, digging irrigation canals? No, it's just... But if you can't pay the people to do it, so they've got the money to buy the things to keep them, you know, fed and watered. And if you can't pay them, if you haven't got the money to do it, then again there's going to be a water shortage, isn't there? Because you need money to maintain water supply systems. Yeah, that's more like it, isn't it? I mean, it's funny, we can go from everything tickety-boo, you know, shelves full in the shops and people got jobs, and then all of a sudden within, you know, maybe about a year, which is quite a short period of time, you got major doo-doo, haven't you, hitting a fan. Why is that then? Well, because of the financial crisis. Well, who's running the financial system? The banksters. What happens? They create money out of thin air. Yeah. We use it. And then there's this crisis comes along. And then the government borrows money, presumably from the banksters, what is created out of thin air. That money is then given to the banksters. What they're then bailed out. They then presumably put that money into buying government bonds. Meanwhile, the money that they've got off the government, which is via the banks, it's a sort of 0% interest rate, but the government's paying so many percent on the government bonds. I mean, go figure. Hold on. Oh, what's wrong with this picture? So, nice little earner. And meanwhile, who's paying for the loans that the government's borrowed to bail the banks out? That'd be us then, wouldn't it? Because we pay the government. Yeah. And we're the ones that suffer. The banksters won't have a food shortage, will they? Oh no, the banksters won't have a shortage of water, will they? Oh no, the banksters won't be freezing their what's-its off. Oh no, they'll probably jet off to their private islands somewhere or other. And they'll have their private security. We can't have guns. Oh no, but their banksters can have security guards with guns. Oh yeah, governments can have military and police with guns. Oh yeah, that's alright, because then they can extort even more out of us. Like old Yankee Prepper was saying about where they were with, you know, investing in gold and silver, and the government comes along and says, here, give us all your gold or else. You know, big stick time. And if you don't comply, you're a nasty, evil person. Yeah. Hold on a minute. So the government can come along and rob people, you know, swap gold for money that's created out of thin air that ain't worth nothing. And if people don't like being robbed, they're the ones labelled as criminals. That's nice. I bet the elite people kept hold of their gold though. Oh yeah. Yeah, I bet they increased it, in fact. I wonder where all that gold that they confiscated went. Yeah. 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 Anyway, that's my little January rant. That is. That's Dave said his rant. Yes, right. So anyway, cheers for now. Keep smiling.